So something that happened a few years ago was that my father-in-law was in a car crash, and it broke his back, and it basically led to his early retirement. And he fell asleep while driving in the middle of the day, and that was devastating to our family and devastating to him and my mother-in-law, his wife, and their kids. That just changed their whole plan, and just got me thinking about sleep. Because he probably thought he was getting decent sleep and that he was fine and didn't need to take any actions. But when this happened, it really got me thinking about it. And as Dr. Rich would talk about sleep studies, I didn't know really I didn't think about it. I didn't look up really sleep studies or really know anything about that. But when Dr. Rich started talking about it, I heard him talk about it for a while, and I was always interested. And we went through a sleep study. I got the information back, and they made some recommendations tracking what was going on with my sleep. And so we discussed about the circle ring. That's a device you wear on your finger as you sleep. Using that over a couple months, I found out that my sleep was not consistent. Sometimes I'd have just fine sleep. Sometimes my sleep would be not good at all. My air would drop, and various indicators that we would track would just change over time. And so with this information, I said, hey, what can we do to maybe get things more consistent and make some changes? And we discussed a couple different options. There were some that were going to be basically a lifetime worth of wearing this machine while you sleep. We were able to try something where it opens up the nostril airways. And I found that just how much I was moving around in the middle of the night, I would wake up in the morning, and that would be somewhere on the floor next to my pillow, and it just wasn't staying on because I was moving around too much. Now, these are things that maybe I didn't notice, but were affecting other people. So they were things that I wanted to make sure that I wasn't negatively impacting my wife. And I said, hey, let's get the data. Let's do the sleep study and just find out. And the sleep study was quite revealing. It told me some things that I figured were true, and then told me some other things that I had no idea were going on. And that really began the process of, well, how do we make sure we get better sleep? Because better sleep is going to lead to better days, better attitudes, and where I love my wife and kids and want to make sure that I'm a great dad and taking care of them, that just means that I need to be in a good attitude and be at my best as much as possible. And also I need to perform well at work. And so the circle ring is very interesting. I liked that because I liked getting the data. But when I wake up in the morning, I stop it. It gives me a whole sheet of data and information about sleep rhythms and about oxygen saturation and things that honestly on the front end didn't know what was good and what was bad and what things meant necessarily. You hear things like REM and light sleep and deep sleep, and it tracks these different indicators. And although I didn't really fully understand what it meant, I would work with Dr. Rich, and he send him the reports, and after a handful of them, we'd go over the kind of how things are going and where we see things staying consistent and where we see things changing. And some of the things that I found from that was that if I were to lay down and watch TV or try to watch a show and then go to bed, I would notice that my sleep was not as good. And so I was able to make some changes like that for different areas of my life, for things that were negatively affecting my health. But one of them was the Excite OSA device. What is that called again?
You got Excite OSA. You got
Excite OSA. So I used the Excite OSA. What I liked about it, it was a 42-day program and then a little bit of maintenance going on. You wear it for 20 minutes a night. And I wasn't trying to sleep with it. It was just something I could just do while I was wrapping up my day, kind of thing. And I also like the idea that it was strengthening existing muscles that really I don't know how she would exercise those muscles. But what I did is I could continue to use my circle ring and to use the Excite OSA, and I saw that my numbers and results became better over time as I used it. My wife indicated to me that maybe I didn't snore as much. That made her sleep better and just made kind of things better, getting better sleep and being more peaceful as I rest. So the Excite OSA has been a fantastic device that I've used and just continue to use. Worked with Dr. Rich on just looking at everything and just making sure I'm on track and that things are where they should be. He's been an excellent consultant, advisor in this realm, so that I can just get better sleep and just